We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Lee on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics. Watch this. And a mind.
I'm fine.
What up? What up?
Man, what happened? What's happening?
We back. We back in the building. We alive. They thought it was over, but we are back and we in living color. Ain't that right?
Yeah, it is. We back and we miss y'all too. We've been sitting right here waiting for y'all the whole time. We was wondering when y'all were gonna get here.
Miss y'all like how a newborn baby missing a diaper change. Miss y'all. Genuinely miss y'all.
Man, that the thought now in my mind. You know when a baby misses a diaper change, that man think it's funky. So we miss them like they funky.
No, y'all know some of these babies. I done had somebody try to tell me to hold their baby and their baby needed a diaper change. I don't like that. Matter of fact, anybody under the sound of my voice, if you a parent and you letting other people hold your kids knowing they need a diaper change, shame on you. Yeah. Shame on you. Shame on you. We are not tolerating that right there.
Yeah, did they see?
Oh, did you do that to your kids? You send your kids around without their diaper change?
No, didn't happen. Our kids didn't get to stay with everybody. Go ahead. Like these kids man stayed in like 50,000 people's houses. You know what I'm saying? Kids have been all kind of places. You know, no, my kids didn't do that. They couldn't stay with particular places.
Yeah.
I remember I'm gonna say they never stayed in no friend house. I don't know no friends. Ain't nobody like that. You know, it's always been the people, you know, been around us. You know what I'm saying? And just a couple of family members. That's how we did it. We grew up, you could, you know what I'm saying? That way let us go. You went to spend the night with family, you know what I'm saying? Spend the night with family, stuff like that. Now they have everywhere, man. People don't even know the kid. They don't know the kid. The kid don't know them, and the kid still spending the night with them.
Wide open, man. I don't go along with that foolishness, man.
That's a society. I
don't go along with that foolishness. You can't do it, man. Can't do it.
Hey, you know how it is. That's the world we live in. So while we waiting on them in a way to jump in with us, where you at in your love life?
Man, I'm everywhere.
Oh
yeah.
What is everywhere?
You said where I'm at. I was just telling you, I'm everywhere. I am broadcasting live on the world right now, all over every single continent. I'm everywhere right now. That's where I'm at.
You right in delusion and right in sickness.
Speaking of that, let me tell you what I did.
Was it anything to do with that?
Introduce y'all right now. Yeah. Look. We going real slow. It's coming into the camera frame. Real slow. Up a little higher. Y'all see that there? Woo! Y'all know what that is?
No, do you?
Yeah, this right here is a plant that I made. It's called a place called Plant and Silk. Like paint and silk, they got a place called Plant and Silk, and you can make those little plants and stuff like that. Really, really nice, man. Really, really nice. So that's something that I just
somebody come. That's that stuff. I'm telling you something, man. That's that stuff Square gotta do. Like, you know what? We on a date. We went painting. People do stuff like that. Well, you know, you wine and paint. I'm looking at first of all, back when I was drinking, I didn't have time to be dealing with no paint. Well, okay. Oh, you went and made that.
Yeah.
So they give you the dirt, put the dirt in there. They showed you how to do it, and then you put it in there.
That is so neat.
They put two rocks around it. They didn't put two rocks around it. They told see, now you can tell your friends the lie you made.
Hey,
you go and sucking them in.
What I want to work on, because I'm a life coach.
Well, hit the cash out.
Strengthening these relationships. Yeah. So the way that you strengthen and work on these relationships, y'all need to do couples activities. When the last time y'all married folks did some couples activities? If you married and in the chat and y'all do some couples outings, type of one in the chat right now. if you are married and y'all don't do nothing, don't even type nothing. Just leave the screen blank. That's what I want y'all to do out here. Because what we doing is we putting romance. Well, not romance. We putting love back in the relationship. That's what we doing. We putting relations back in the relationship. That's what we doing. Yeah, and that's how you do it right there. See, let me tell you something, fellas. This way it start right here. It don't start in the bedroom. It start right here with these albums right here. You got to know how to just have a little fun. Sometimes just enjoy each other's company and talk. That's what you got to do. That's what it's all about. Oh yeah, I see somebody out there in the chat room saying right now, okay, that's fun. Yeah, y'all got to try it. Plant and sip. So Tony, that's what I just ended up doing. That's where we're at. That's where things are going on right now.
What was you sipping?
So far, so good. What was I sipping?
It's called Plant and Sip.
Yeah. Well, we can't talk about everything. You know, a gentleman don't talk about everything that we do. You know what I'm saying? Some things, you know, that's just for grown folks right there, you know. But before I answer that question, let's welcome the one and only Resident Joe. What's up, girl?
Hello, guys. I'm so sorry. I was having technical difficulties, but I am here now. So
did you just turn Chinese? Because you know your words coming out for your mouth move.
You see, it's the internet. I'm having technical difficulties. I think.
Now we got you. Now you're on time. But first, your words will come, your mouth will move, then your mouth start move. I like that reverse Chinese stuff.
I had to restart my whole computer, but I'm glad I'm here now.
Tell hit the cash.
I know. Thank you. I know Pastor was talking about mixture. I might have some type of Chinese in my background. You never know.
Oh, okay. yeah, that's right, ain't it? Yeah, that's it.
How are you guys?
Oh, we make it.
Hey, I'm glad you asked, girl, because I am doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. What more can I say? You know, before we start the show, it came on. Tony just telling me how I look. I'll let Tony. I said, look at this right here.
Oh my!
It's all right.
I told him
his head full of hair. Look at all that. Look at all that curls right there. Look at that.
All that gray. I told him last time I seen a face like that, it was on some tissue. They were getting folded up and dropped.
Hey, this right here is beautiful. Resident Joe, this right here is natural, non-GMO. That's what we doing over here. This right here.
You might want to get you some.
Look right through my face.
Go get you some GMO.
You're something else. What do you put in your hair? Coconut
Nothing
oil?
but juices and berries. Nothing but juices and berries.
Eddie Murphy had to look like nothing to be talking about that. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah, but no, everybody week's been going up good. We got some really, really great, interesting topics. A lot of different things going on. We even talking about stuff from the therapeutic, mental aspect of things. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, callers. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to call in. I always make sure that you always want to hit that cash out. You always want to hit the cash out. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is right now, running below at the bottom of your screen, that is the cash out information. I want you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button too. And go ahead and take this right here, post it on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page. Go and post it somewhere because now tonight we got some red hot stuff. Talk about it.
Listen, if they're gonna put on their Instagram page, can they do that later?
Oh, they can post it right now. Most people watching from their cell phone.
If it's called instant, well, we would expect you to do it now.
Oh, that's a good
Okay, listen, we can't try. You know what I'm saying? Just have to follow along. They're safe for everybody. Take the time.
That's a good one.
We got some news stories too, don't we? That y'all
man, we got some good news stories. I know Resident Joe got some, Thule got some, I got some. It's just a lot of stuff going on right now in this society too. It's a lot of stuff going on in this society right now that just really, really up and down, you know.
Listen, it is. Let me tell you. I sent one to you guys. I don't know, that probably be long we can discuss it. About the adoption of the children.
Adopting the children. Let me see if I can find that one.
You say with Madonna.
Oh yes, he just sent it today, I believe.
No, what time was it? Yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it on.
I was reading that. I was reading that story last night. No doubt you can pop that in for those fans. And you know what's amazing when you look at the whole story is the fact I called this years ago. I tried to tell people about this stuff, and it's just scary that people now becoming interested in the situation. But I think the story needs to be read because it's really sad. It's really sickening. Things these people do, and just for the fact of just taking human life, they're just taking it desecrated. And I know they're into more than what people are telling them. So, I told people years ago about them going to Africa, adopting the kid, Angelina Jolie and Brad. I mean, I cried this out years ago in 2010. I thinking back, telling them it made no sense. I'm what they quote unquote call black. Nothing makes me want to go and just grab some white kid from some other country and give them and bring them back here and take. There are black kids here, quote unquote, that need help. There are white kids that need help. I knew they were leaving here because they knew that no one would be keeping up with them. They got them from out of Russia. I remember I told y'all years ago, Russia made it illegal for Americans to adopt Russians because they were molesting those kids. That's white Americans with white Americans. Go ahead. Read that story for a little doubt. It's definitely interesting. People need to know.
So it says right here, the article is called Madonna is accused of child trafficking in Malawi. Here's everything you need to know. And it looks like there's a picture of her. I'm assuming are those the kids that she adopted? Yep. I don't know. Wow.
Yep. So when I look at them two kids, first thing come to my mind, I want them to be mine. Now you looking at what jumps in your heart? Say, oh yeah, I want these two kids. You remember she was busting on Twitter years ago? She took a picture with them. They were sitting in front of her. She had her foot in both of them's stomachs, and she was laying on the ground. And she said, "Look here, I'm over here with my niggas." You remember that? And she took it down. So I snapped the shot. But read the story. It's a little. Yeah, she took it off of Twitter, but somebody snapshot it. She was sitting there with her foot on both of them, saying, "Look at me with my niggas."
What?
Yes. Wow. So it says Madonna is being accused of trafficking and sexually exploiting Malawian children by a charitable organization known as the Ethiopian World Federation. Look here, they hide behind these organizations.
No, listen. They're hiding behind charity. Remember charity? These are Greek gods. Everybody thinking it's love. That's how they beat you. Look what all of these sex organizations call themselves. Charities. What they tell you to donate to charity. These are Greek god funds. So she's doing what charities do. It's a Greek god. It's about sex. See, this is the problem with people. I want you to, if you'll read the story. People don't understand. They did nothing wrong. The name said it all. Charity. It's a Greek god of love. She's accused of what? Having sex with these kids and other groups of people having sex with them. This falls under the Greek goddess Charity. So the problem is not with Madonna. The stupidity is we don't know the meaning of words. Because what you think charity means? Love. This is a charitable organization. That means they help people. No, these are sescapades. They're giving homage to their gods. Go ahead and read it.
All right. So it says the pop singer Madonna is being accused of human trafficking and sexually exploiting children by the charitable organization known as the Ethiopian World Federation, according to All Africa. As stated on the websites, a civic service organization that pushes policies and advocates to change the laws that harm all black people. Wow. Says Madonna herself famously adopted 4 children from Malawi. What is back in 2006 when she founded the charity Raised in Malawi, a nonprofit group that seeks the support of orphans and vulnerable children through the health and education program. So here's a photo of the kids right here.
Oh, what you tell me? Y'all see adopt wrote all over those kids? Oh, I want to adopt them. Nothing looking at those kids make me just breaks my heart to say I need to adopt them.
Wow.
Except for it gets you money, it gets you an opportunity. Who keeping up with these kids? Oh, I want you to the story will tell you about what happened, how it's really in depth. I mean, it really tells you when they say all you need to know. Go ahead, love doctor.
All right. The EWF is asking the Malawian president Lazarus Chakwera to investigate Madonna's charity and restrict her and her associates' accessibility to Africa and the African children as a precautionary measure until a thorough investigation is done into child trafficking, sex exploitation, sexual slavery, adoption reversal. Wow, what is that? threat of coercion, fraud, deception, and abuse of power or vulnerability. That's a lot of stuff going on. Listen.
Oh, you ain't done.
It says in 92, she had a book titled Sex with a cited petition which features adult content sources such as softcore porn and sadomasochism. I don't even know what that is. That's a lot going on. That's a pretty big word right there. You see that big word right there? Sando, matcha, whatever that is.
You're supposed to know what.
Help me that. What word it is? What is it?
Which one?
Sadomasochism. I think it comes from the
sadomasochism. Sadomasochism.
I think it comes from sodomy, correct? Like that's
sadomasochism. Well, it's got the religious connotation to it too.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah.
So all this pornographic content, LGBT conduct punishable by law, gay porn, blah, 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 blah. Madonna performing vulgar sex acts with the same sex, which should have been disclosed during her adoption in 2006. They knew about this before they even adopted her. Why are they making that as an excuse? So that's the other picture that they use as the lead in the article. So when you scroll down, it says Madonna had to sign a contract that forbade the book from including images of child pornography, bestiality, religious imagery. That's a lot going on. That's a lot going on.
Oh, they ain't done. Yeah, ain't it? Yeah.
That's a lot going on, man. That's a whole lot going on.
Oh, look who was involved. There's a lot. Go ahead.
All right. Shortly after signing that agreement, Madonna founded a company called Maverick, a partnership with Time Warner. She now holds the total artistic control over any work released by Maverick, who is now the book's publisher. The agreement she signed with Time Warner with sexually explicit content in the book Sex was null and void. So it's talking more and more about that right there. You may scroll down, try to find a place where it's talking about the kids.
I think all of it was. I thought you read.
What in the world?
That's a lot. Yeah, see, you don't skip over stuff. This is some of the stuff that she had.
Oh, here you go. The kids. Madonna adopted more kids after David in 2009 after battling in court. The singer was finally approved to adopt Mercy James. She adopted a set of twins, Astaire and Stella, in 2017. The plea further states, we firmly believe that Malawi has been robbed of its most precious resource, its children. It continues in 2013. The country accused Madonna of bullying state officials and making diva demands and of citing her raising Malawi charity as the reason for doing so. Look, it even goes on and talks about this is not the first time that she's been accused of child trafficking. He talks about from 2009 she was accused. Wow, there's a more dark side of Madonna's adoption, even talking about it too. It says Mercy's grandmother, Lucy, shared her heartbreaking side of the adoption process. Lucy was placed Mercy in a local orphanage for care until her immune system improved, but never intended to permanently part ways with her granddaughter. Mercy's family said they would let Madonna adopt her only that she was of grade school and age, and that she'd return to Malawi after 2 years for visits. Also with stipulations on that. So they're saying they never gave those kids over to her permanently.
No, and they said she wrote in there. You skipped over some stuff. How the father was dead, and they said the father very much alive. He never knew anything about the adoption. See, this is the stuff why you go to these countries. I'm telling you, if anybody remember, I preached on this when Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt adopted those kids. Mm-hmm. I preached on it years ago. I didn't wait till now. I've been telling them it made no sense.
Called it, man.
I called this years ago. I'm like, what are people thinking? I'm not saying that white people can't love, quote unquote, love black kids or any other race. It's just it makes no sense. These people have money. You can have your own children. You can adopt your own race of children. It makes no sense for them to run to Africa, have all this love for Africa, and grab all these kids and have no white kids. It makes no sense other than I just got the rights to some kids. Why would America invest in kids from another country? Only if it shamed America, if it dampened their policy. This is all about them getting these kids, playing they love, they molest them, having sex with them. And that boy is gay. She's gay. Yep.
You can tell that boy gay.
That's what you read. They were saying she exploits him. They're sleeping with she's bringing other people in to sleep with them. It's sad. I mean, she get ready to do another tour, her little tour. She's actually very much rich, but they all did money. They just all demonic people.
There it is. It says the group suggests that the singer is using Malawian adopted son named David Banda for sexual exploitation and social experiments. The petition cites photo of David wearing women's clothes, makeup, and jewelry. just as sure. And it says they claim David's dad of being absent when she applied for his adoption. And that's the guy David right there, who she been in women clothes and all this faggotry.
Listen, the scientist stuff. You know, they also get these kids off for experiment. I've been telling y'all they were doing this. That's what they're saying. They listen. He is an experiment. If you read up, they would have told you that. They've been practicing with these kids, putting them on these clothes. They get them because they knew. Look at where we at in society today. Those kids are so dysfunctional. You watching somebody say they love you, their mother, who has sex with you and let other people abuse you, but then she famous and you look at you in America, your life is so much better till you think that the money and the traveling is better than with your family in an African country, quote unquote, you know, not having all these so-called riches. But look at your mindset. Look at the discipline. Look at the hurt these kids going to suffer. Look at the hurt they're going to impute on other kids. You know, eventually they're going to throw them away. They're going to be too old. They don't need older people in their group. They need younger people.
Oh, kill them.
Listen, these older white people, they're making their 90s and all this and late 80s. I don't care what nobody say. These people are blood drinkers. They are getting these kids. They are organ harvesting from these people. They making. I'm telling you, it's deeper than what people think. Like the sadomasochism. These people know. These people are into bondage. They're into a lot of deep, wicked stuff. And, you know, the world just keep going. It's not going to stop a concert. Oh, we love Madonna. Oh, Madonna. The woman is satanic.
Yep.
We're in the whole group.
Wow. I see what you're saying, too, about his father's comments on here. His dad, his biological, Mercy's biological uncle signed adoption papers after he and Lucy were told the little girl would be brought home regularly for visits. I was the one who signed out the adoption papers, says her uncle. She told me herself that she didn't want Mercy to cut ties with her roots, that she'll be bringing her home regularly. It also says Mercy's family seemed to echo David's father and his claim on Madonna's broken promises. The only reason I let Madonna adopt David was because she promised me she would give him a good education and he would come home to live with me. So this is what the father is saying. The twins' father, Adam Wally, claims he was misled throughout the adoption process and was told from the beginning that his daughters would be returned to him. I was told from the start Esther and Stella were going to a rich woman's home abroad, that she would give them a good education and return them to me to live with me and help all my family. Now you're telling me that adoption is permanent. That cannot be true. I don't want it to be true. I am their father and I will always be their father.
You think them kids will tell him? What you think she told them kid? Your father wanted you. I'm supposed to. No, your father couldn't take care of you. Your father was less than a man. Your family abandoned you. This is your life. I saved you. I'm the only one that love you. I protect you by keeping you away from other people that's going to tell you the truth and putting you in a group of nothing but satanic, worthless, criminal bastards that all need to be in a prison somewhere rotting.
I think I found the part you were referring to about the father and the lies they made about the father, about his death and stuff like that. I didn't realize the courts went into that. So let me read this really quick. He claims that the courts lied about him and his whereabouts as a father after his wife's death. Right here, I'm going to blow it up. Can y'all see this? Is it still too small?
Mm-hmm. No, we can see it.
Mr. Mwale said he had been forced to listen to terrible lies when a court-appointed guardian of the children told the judge the father had abandoned his family to marry another woman after the death of his wife. The couple had 5 other children, now aged between 8 and 20, before the twins. The judgment says after the death of his wife, the infant's father left the village to marry another woman without making any arrangement for their maintenance. Mr. Wallace said, it was me. Let me highlight this in green. It was me who took the girls to the orphanage after his wife died. We had been happily married for years. We had a good family life, but when she gave birth to the twins, she lost a lot of blood. And the mother died during birth. The twins survived. I wanted the hospital to help, but they said the orphanage was the best place. Everyone in the village knows I just wanted the best for them. The Kanyambi village chief Wale said that despite them being poor, the local community had tried to help. He added Adam was sad and troubled at the time. We supported as best as we could, but no one here has very much.
Wow.
So he even lied about the father, saying, wow, they lied about him.
They go to poor communities, and
that's exactly what it says. Yep. That's crazy.
This is what happened though.
That is crazy.
He into something. When he needed help, he went to he was at the hospital. They told him about going to the orphanage.
Orphanage, yup.
That's how they're getting the kids. They're getting the doctors, the nurses, who live in the impoverished town, to suggest they're getting paid. Tell them to come to the orphanage. Recommend they go to the orphanage. Tell them the child is not going to survive. The child, it'll be very expensive to save this child's life. The best option, the best chance for life for this child, give it to the orphanage. Let some rich people adopt it. So that you might not, oh, I'm going to get my baby. Listen, if your baby stays here, your baby's going to die. If you love your child, let your child go where they can prosper, they can do well, they can be healthy, can afford it. And now they look like the Africans who abandoned their kids when they were manipulated at the hospital, just like they tell our black women. They told them so-called years ago, you need to get an abortion. The same system that Madonna is a part of, that use the hospitals to think your healthcare professional. Who advised you on getting an operation? Mm-hmm. Who advised you on losing weight? Who involves you on getting on medication? Who? Do you do on your own or a physician? Because they're the same group that done is. There's another group that do this. They work hospitals. That's how they get our organs. That's how they get our blood type. That's how they keep. Why they need to know my blood type? Everybody the same human. They need to know what blood type they're attacking that they're trying to get. They learn how to make diseases from those blood types because they've tested on every blood type. And they know what blood type is more susceptible and which blood type is more immune to. This is why you go to people in the hospital, they keep drawing all this blood. You think I told them, use the blood you just took. Oh, no. We can't use that. That blood, we got to get some new blood. I said, I'm the same person. I ain't done nothing different. Why would you need to keep drawing blood? I hadn't eaten. What changed? I'm laying here doing nothing. Because I'm constantly going back. I'm constantly checking you. You just don't realize it.
That's sad. There's a lot of stuff going on. What's sad about it is y'all notice the color of these kids' skin. The color of these kids' skin, they all are non-white. And it's sad to say, but I feel like we don't have protection for our kids. This leads me into thinking about, there was another particular clip that I saw, and I'm more so curious to share this clip with you. It's about a 48-second clip, and it's also about, two kids and a grave injustice that has been going on for a while, but today it was just recently brought to my attention. So I want to share it with y'all, and I want to talk about the mental health aspect of this particular article right here. So Dr. Joe, this one right here is more so something I want to share with you and get some of your comments on, because I think this right here is a very pressing issue that really caught my attention. Here we go.
And I know before you do that, let our listeners know how they got in the comments or whatever beside that and click in.
So if you hit on that description box has a link where you can join in. Also, if you look at the comments, you can also click on that link to join the chat. For those people who don't want to show their face, feel free to go ahead and you can still join. You just don't have to necessarily turn your camera on. So if you're interested in speaking or whatever, call in, have any type of commentary, just click on the link that's in the description. Also, you can click on the link that's right there posted in the chat. It's a StreamYard link right there in the chat. That being said, without further ado, let me know if y'all can't hear this sound.
When 29-year-old Curtis Jones walks out of South Bay Prison Tuesday, it will be in many ways as a child in a man's body. After all, Curtis was only 12 when he and his older sister by a year were sentenced to 18 years and probation for life for the murder of Sonia Nicole Spites in 1999. I have written about the case over the years and how Curtis and Catherine's cries for help after being sexually abused went unheeded, and how they had planned to kill others, including the abuser. Now Curtis is being released without ever having shopped for groceries, applied for a job, hunted for an apartment, or learned to drive. In Sunday's column, I decided to look at how the Florida Department of Corrections prepares inmates for reentry.
You're muted.
that right there was just a really brief clip. I try to keep it down under a minute, but basically what we have is kids. He was 12 years old and he was being molested by an adult. And the only way he can get it to stop is actually one day his sister, he was 12 and his sister was 13. They were coming home from the bus stop and he told his sister that he was being molested by an older adult. And his sister told him and said, hey, I'm being molested by him too. So at nighttime, what the boy wanted to do is he wanted to go and sleep in the room with his sister because the older guy would come and lay with the brother, but he was laying and molesting both of them at the same time. So what the brother and sister did is they plotted to kill him. So they got a gun and they shot him and killed him. But as a result of them killing them, the state then issued both of them a life sentence as kids. And they were the youngest kids in the history of the United States to ever be sentenced to a life sentence at the age of 12 years old.
Okay.
Very troubling. Talking to me, Dr. Joe, what you think about that psychology and the mental abuse along with that, the trauma?
First of all, I just want to say that this happens very often, way too often, where someone's being molested, children are being molested, they finally get the strength and they kill the aggressor and they end up in jail. And instead of the other person or whoever paying for this, the victims are the ones paying for what has happened to them. What these kids are, I think there should be a law where it protects these people. Now they're adults, where it protects them from going to jail when they kill someone when they're being abused, especially sexually abused. Once you're sexually abused, especially, I'm not talking about molestation. There's different levels. Of course, it's trauma, but sexually abused, they're traumatized for the rest of their lives. They should have gotten help instead of gone to jail, but this happens way too often. I don't understand why they keep on protecting the aggressor rather than the person that's being the victim. So now they have no job, right? Because their background is already screwed. Their mind is screwed already. So even if they do have a job, can they really survive out there in the world? Because on top that they were sexually molested, they were also in a jail system. So on top of that, they put them in a box. So they punish them for being a victim of sexual abuse. So they pretty much can't function for a couple of years. That's they destroyed their lives, the system and whoever sexually abused them.
That's bad business. Tony, what you think about that, man?
9 times out of 10, the same thing happened to them. They probably portrayed in the prison system. That's what they knew. Then they were separated, so they felt like, I'm sure, they was them against the world. So it's hard sometimes to realize that you become the demon that you hate or the monster that you fear, but it happens every day. I'm a critic of the law on a lot of ends, and sometimes good people can get caught in a bad situation. I can see where they might say, well, there are a lot of people, things aren't traumatizing to them, but yet they'll still display. Well, I won't say display. It might be something like something doesn't really make me afraid. Just like when you shoot somebody, you can have the right to shoot them, but the real question comes into play was, were you really in danger for your life? That's well, to me, I was scared. It becomes an issue of, was this your only way out? And you know, some people say, listen, he come with a knife. I ain't got time. Yeah, I'm not running. He shouldn't have ran up on me. So they try to depend, and you try to decide what cases are didn't have a choice and what cases are you were looking for a reason or somebody. I remember they had a case, there's been so many. They had a quote unquote white Caucasian guy. He would go in the parking lot and start with people to get them to go in where they'll try to hit him. He had a gun, and this black guy, he was arguing with this black lady, quote unquote black lady. Their boyfriend came out and he saw him arguing with her, and he was like, you know, he pushed the white guy. And then he put his bag down. The black guy put his bag down and pulled his pants up. And the white guy was on the right, he shot him. A couple of times he died.
What?
Well, yeah, that was on the news. Should have happened probably about 2 years ago. And the store owner finally told him the white guy does that. He purposely stays up there and gets in a conflict. He wanted somebody to hit him so he could justify shooting him. Now, in another case, just say he was just hold the guy down and the guy pushed him. And he really feared. He on the ground, the guy put up his pants. I didn't know that was the young guy's sign. He was getting the guns. A lot of them keep guns in their pants. I'm an older man. I'm pushed down on the ground by him. Now shooting this is different. I don't know what's happening, but if I provoke the situation, if I, cause a situation to happen, then I can't go and say, oh, I was defending my life. You more or less encouraged it more than you was a defender of your life. And I say all that to say, those kids killing him, to me, it didn't make a difference when they done it. They ain't had to wait till him to do it again. They could have killed him at any time, I'd have been good. But you look at people who will take their trauma. Like, I had some things have me traumatized. I say traumatized to the average person, but it ain't traumatizing to me that I want to go out and kill people, start running people over in cars. None of it. It's not even an issue. So there are people that take advantage of situations. They look for those, opportunities to use it for their, for their reasoning of killing. So I'm sure, I won't say I'm sure. I would have liked to have heard all of the evidence that was proposed, because we're hearing these kids were given life in prison. There's not a jury that would have possibly given them life in prison without. There are some other mitigating situations. So there are some statements that some information came up from them plotting it. They just wanted to kill him anyway. They didn't like him. Some other people. It doesn't make sense. There's no way to me logically that a jury heard this case and said life in prison. Now, Resident Joe, you tell me what you think.
Someone just posted a comment that makes more sense now. Supposedly they killed the girlfriend that was not molesting them. So, but to me is who was this man that was sexually abusing them? I missed that.
Let me read the article.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can provide a little more perspective or whatever. See if we can get a little more detail. So I'm gonna pull back up the article.
I ain't know nothing about it.
I'm trying to skate through it.
I know something has been going on.
So Curtis Fairchild walked into prison as a 12-year-old boy. On Tuesday morning, he walked out 29-year-old man. Prison officials confirmed that Jones was released. He refused interviews, but he leaves prison as a convicted murderer, a victim of childhood sexual abuse, a brother to a sister scheduled to be released from prison Saturday, and ordained minister. Time will tell if he has a chance to work through his demons that terrorized his childhood and drove him to take a life. Curtis, along with Catherine, his older sister by years, shot and killed their father's girlfriend, Sonia Nicole Spice, in 1999. They also had planned to kill their father and a male relative who they said was sexually molesting them. No one believed they were being abused, even after investigators from what is now the Department of Children and Families identified evidence of the abuse.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't find anything, did it?
They did. They found evidence.
Yeah, they say they found evidence
that they were being abused. And
yeah, it says that the Department of Children and Families identified evidence of the abuse. So they were documented. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, is this children probably went through a whole life of abuse. It's not only for them to feel to the point that I want to kill someone and I'm going to kill you and I'm going to kill you. You have to be at a point in your life where you're done. The frustration in your life is completely over the roof. So I'm putting myself in their shoes is the only way to understand. If I'm being sexually abused by my father, by my uncle, and etc., there's no way of thinking other way, but I'm going to kill these people. I'm tired. I got to defend myself. So, I mean, people see traumas and face traumas differently. But when you think about it, when somebody's being so abused so many times in life, there's no way they're in their brain that they can react in a logical way. You know what I'm saying? They're going to snap. It's just an animal snaps when you keep on abusing them. You imagine a human being, and then at some point you lose reaction of, or let's just calm down and think. They're not calm and they're not thinking. So I'm sure they were tired and there was just, I'm done. I'm killing these people. Mentally speaking.
It had to be something. You know, a lot of times when evidence get presented, what a jury sees and what the audience hear is different. I think if you had a jury, it'll be rare to probably find 12 people that had some form of molestation or some, some type of trauma, something similar. What it was, if it wasn't them, a cousin, a sister, a brother, an uncle or aunt, either the mother or the father, it's almost impossible to get away from it.
Yeah.
And other than pedophiles, I couldn't see just people sitting there hearing the evidence of there was abuse, and then because they had to tell you what was also going to be the punishment: life in prison, no possibility of parole until these are minor kids. And I'm gonna say guilty, knowing you're gonna take that much of their life. The evidence that was given had to be pretty strong to show that this was a little more than just the trauma. Because you got to figure, you're gonna put experts on that too. You know that you're not gonna, when you're dealing with a case of trauma, whether or not a person was competent or competency, you're always gonna bring experts in to say, based on studies, and people don't realize that that's a hard case because you can't try them to get to certain age when you giving them like they're minors. So everything's against you. For a jury to say convincingly, all 12 to say guilty and get them life in prison, I'm almost sure. And I ain't agreeing. Listen, they molest them. They ain't died fast enough. But I'm almost sure there's some other thing. And you gotta remember the experts gonna look at this now. Did your trauma from this can be associated to this to justify this? And a jury of 12 people all said no. You knew that had to come up now. But I would like to know all. This is my whole thing for me. I'm an advocate for when something I look like something look wrong to police them. I want to get them. I want to get on whoever it is wrong. But let's be honest. A lot of times we didn't get out information. Just like we saw that video last week, the police getting out the motorcycle. This whole case, like it started out about a police messing with a guy jaywalking. Mm-hmm. How did someone? But see, these are the things people set us up with video because they're like the police on the motorcycle. He see a guy because I was like, why you bother? It's jaywalk. You wasted more time getting out the motorcycle. Talk with him now, and the guy together him is like, what did the guy know about him? Oh, he's gonna try to kill me. Then he running. So it looks like, wow, maybe something going on here, and it looked like it's something going on to hurt him. You caused the accident. You ran away from the scene of crime. I'm chasing you still, trying to deal with you civilly without hurting you. Give you opportunity. Okay, sit here, listen, stop. I could have when I came on that motorcycle, I should have came out that motorcycle dead in your chest. Well, because you done ran away. I'm trying to tell you you're not obeying commands. They showed him on the ground. The white man called his name. Next thing you know, he died. I'm all against him dying on the ground. It shouldn't have. If anything would happen, he got that motorcycle. Based on what happened, the job that went with the job. Mm-hmm. But we keep getting videos, stories. Just tell us the whole thing so we can process. The world is rotten. Okay, these kids killed 3 people that were molesting them. Okay. A DA has to look at it for you taking them. You're going to take it to a grand jury, present the evidence. A grand jury going to say, yes, there is probable cause to take this and go at prosecution. DAs don't just take cases. There's a lot of stuff people don't know. You have to look at a conviction. This is a story that's going to be on the news. You're going to look like a fool trying to prosecute 2 minor kids that were molested unless you have strong evidence to show that these were murders.
Yeah.
So what it says,
and I would like to know.
It say the siblings shot Spikes with their father's handgun, hitting her 4 times out of 9 bullets fired. They immediately realized their tragic blunder. They tried to cover up the crime and ran to a neighbor's house to say there was an accident. They eventually fled to a wooded area where they hid for the night before the Broward County Sheriff's investigators found them near Port St. John on the morning of January 7th. The story of the siblings, Catherine Jones and Curtis Fairchild, is a tragic tale of several people and systems that failed these 2 young victims before dumping them in prison. Senior Resources says that there's an advocacy group working to promote changes in sentencing policies among other reforms related to incarceration. It seems that even a cursory look at the childhood environment and the background of their caretakers would have prompted grave concern and care rather than stiff prison terms.
My,
They
my
are the record. They hold the record for the youngest kids to ever be sentenced to life sentence
my
in the
whole
country.
I'm sorry, love doctor. My whole thing here is they were sentenced for life prison, but eventually decided to get them out. Meaning they said we made a mistake. So there had to be some type of rethought,
I ain't made a mistake. I hadn't read it, but you know what? Because they give you life in prison, they give you life in prison with possibility of parole. So they gave you, like, if they got in trouble anytime, they would have to do that rest of that sentence. So they're really in a real critical state right now.
So here's how they got the kids. It says, but facing life in prison after Brevard County, Florida, the prosecutors made the kids the youngest ever charged as adults with first-degree murder. They remained quiet about the abuse, and they pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and accepted the sentence of 18 years and probation for life. There was no trial. There was no testimony.
That makes sense.
There was no opportunity to present the documentation to the. Wow.
A lot of these kids don't. A lot of these kids don't have anyone to protect them. No lawyer.
Yeah, they were little kids. They got in an interrogation room by the cops and got scared. That's what it clearly sounds like. Wow.
That's the thing, and it's happened to sadly, when I was working in the court system, a lot of my kids were being put in prison because they had no lawyers.
Listen, this is a whole nother set of problems. These kids were questioned. There should have been an advocacy group there.
Yep.
Who should have came in to tell them, first of all, they can't be questioned without an attorney. They can't, first of all, they didn't need, no, I'm sorry. They needed an advocate there first. That should have been established before an attorney. The advocate would have made sure that there was a proper, representation, and that this was held in the proper venue. Because the argument should have been, first of all, they were minors. Even in, I know with Georgia, up to a certain period of time, they can commit certain crimes up to 17 to 18, then you can move to felony. But depending on the crime at 17, you could be charged as an adult. So there are a lot of things that happened that shouldn't have happened. I thought this was a case, but I seen somebody say, remember watching the case. So I took it that there was a trial, that there was representation. A lot of this makes a lot. That's why I said we need to know the whole story about things.
Right.
We know what, because I'm saying it's just no way I can believe it's 12 people that dumb in the world that heard the case and said guilty. That's why I said the only way that makes sense, honestly, is that there was some really strong evidence. But this makes a lot of sense. But a lot of things come into play because I'm sure they should have had to have them talk to a therapist. There's no way they could. Way. I'm sure they did.
I'm sure they did.
Because you really want to find out, you got to go with a person's mental state. And I'm going to argue your mental state to a judge or try to get a conviction. I got to make sure I got somebody I can put on the stand and these people can be regarded as an expert. Because if not, anything I say can be refuted. Because first of all, your mouth cut like mine. Unless there's a degree or something that said the court recognize you as an expert.
Mm-hmm.
No one can argue down what you're saying unless they got some proof. Otherwise, your word is valid. Like when the police come in, they don't have to, they look, you're a police officer. So whatever you say come out of your mouth, unless someone can prove differently, is the truth. And you're not going to win an argument against it because they recognize they're officers of the court.
Yep.
So, this is a sad story and needs attention, and it'll damage them through on out. However, and you know what? That's the thing too. People don't really look at that. Most of the time, cases that get attention are cases where people were killed unarmed. Whether Latino, quote unquote, black or whatever it might be. But you don't typically hear a lot of how many times the system helped caught people, and they've had this guy in the right, possibly television coverage, but it's in the 90s. People could have maybe been involved. I don't remember the case. I had some people saying this was in 98 or 93.
93, I believe.
Now, what's killing me is some people, they can't remember this case.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Listen, if it was in 1980, 1993, some of the were born in 1987. So for me to believe that they were that astute at 6 years old that they were on this case, I'm not believing it. Look, Doctor, how old were you in 1993? You need to take your mute off. You say 11?
11.
What in 93?
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh my God. Oh, I thought you were playing. Are
Wow, you were a
serious?
lot older.
You thought I was what? What you thought I was?
Wow. Fight. We got
Nephew E, what's up, man?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Hey,
much,
hey,
man.
man, we doing pretty good. Good to see you
That's
again,
what's up.
buddy.
No doubt. Good to see y'all. Yeah, just joining in, listening to the show. I gotta come talk to the best show in the land.
Appreciate
it, man. I
No
appreciate
doubt.
it, man.
No
Always
doubt,
good to hear
man.
you, man.
Yeah,
Weigh in
no
on some of
doubt.
the topics. What's your take, man, on some of this stuff? What's going on? What's your take?
Oh man. Madonna, she been a sick woman, since the beginning of time. Yeah, her music explains she a freak. Then one, she was born one. You know what I mean? But so cousin Love Doctor, I would say all the time, and Raha always talk about it all the time. These people, she somewhere in her life, she been molested and been touched and fooled with. You understand what I'm saying? And to go out and do the things that she do as a woman, you know what I mean? It's just totally sickening. You know what I'm saying? To go take kids from another country and take them and molest them and to do everything wrong to them. She a sick woman. She a sick person. You know what I mean? But she done been touched and fooled with. So and then they turn around and hurt other people, and that's what they do. The situation with the brother and the sister with the murder. A lot of these people try to get help from people. They can't get it. A lot of these kids. I know a lot of people that's been fooled with and molested and touched by people. They can't get help because nobody don't believe them. You sit in a house with a man that's doing this kind of thing, and I think you said they killed the girlfriend too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they
the uncle too. Yeah, these older people, some of these folks, all these folks that's really together. They together on a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? You got a girlfriend that's sitting there, and they probably went pleaded to her. She probably didn't say nothing because she go with the man. You understand what I'm saying? And they feel like all they feel like they was all they grown people, so they don't believe nothing that they say. So the best choice they had to do was to kill them. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a no way out situation. Yeah. If I go tell somebody, I'm telling the adults in here, nobody don't believe us. They go together. The uncle, they all probably chill together and hang together. Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. So they felt like, hey, it's just me and you. We gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I mean? In cases like that, when you got murder, you got killing involved. Some things will not be heard by the court, and by when you have killing and you don't have a track record. You understand what I'm saying? When you don't have paperwork involved and the police not involved, they're not gonna believe you. I know of a person that has committed a murder for abuse, domestic violence, and was charged with the crime. You know what I mean? And they was the victim. But when it's not predicated on paper, and it's not involved with the police officers and the court, they're gonna go against you because they gonna think that it's premeditated. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these things that people do, if something has to be said. If you can't get no family member or somebody to help you, then you have to get the police involved. And then see these situations like this, when cops do come involved, then comes CPS. You see what I'm saying? See, people think kids know a lot of systems. You feel what I'm saying? Because if they do go get the police involved, then we're gonna be separated. Somebody gonna put us here, somebody gonna put us there. You understand what I'm saying? So they try to stay together and try to be a family, but they did things the way they wanted to do it because that was their only way. But they didn't want to get the police involved because sometimes some people they come to separate the kids. But and then you stuck with a decision. You understand what I'm saying? But then the police look at it as law. The court look at it as law. You know what I'm saying? So it's a sick law. You know, what kids will commit a murder for nothing? You understand what I'm saying? Especially kids that didn't have crimes on their record. They wasn't bad children, stuff like that. But they don't look at it like that. They look at the simple fact that, you know, you committed a crime and we got to charge you for it. They don't go in depth like, what would make two kids kill three adults?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Instead of just looking at it that way. But it's a bad situation. You know, I know a lot of cases, a lot of people that have been molested and been touched, and they have talked to people, and these people don't believe them. Especially when you got that boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife thing going on. You know what I mean? A lot of women are not gonna believe. You know what I mean? They want to believe it, but you know, they feel like them being alone. You know what I mean? I can't be alone because, you know, this is my man and stuff like that, and they'll take the man's side. And you know, of course, it cost her life because she could have stopped it.
Why do you think it's hard for the victims to be believed? Why don't people believe the victims?
Well, you know, it has a lot to do with especially kids. You know what I mean? It has a lot to do with that stigma. You know, we talked about it before about the kids telling on grown folks. You understand what I'm saying? Some people, oh, those are just children. You understand what I'm saying? And people don't see an in-depth situation. So they look at the kids and be like, why would an adult touch you, or why would a kid touch you? They don't believe it. You understand what I'm saying? I got a situation that or a podcast I was on, the pastor of our church, actually my father, this lady, she had been molested when she was 12 years old by my father. You know what I mean? She was a child. You know what I mean? She wrote a book. You know what I mean? And I've never known it. You understand what I'm saying? Till now. But she was molested at, I think she was one of the older young adults in the church at the time when I was a kid. But you know, my dad was picking her up, and I didn't call him my father. You know what I mean? I didn't know he was my father till he died. But was picking her up and taking her and having sex with her as a child. Now you got to understand. Not only was he a pastor, but he was a police officer.
Oh, wow.
So how you gonna maneuver that?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You can't tell on them. You know, this is in the 90s. You know what I mean? You're talking about a well-known figure. You know, but she was. You know, I got a book. I haven't read it yet, but just hearing her conversation, you know, I was like, man, I know you're right. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to believe in the church. Yeah. But she got old and got a and I just sat there and I watched her cry, and she just, you know, she said some of the most harmful things this man done to her, man. And you know, you got to understand, you talking about these people have so much power over people. You understand what I'm saying? So much power, so much influence. You know what I mean? And it's a sickening thing. And I know a lot of people. I had an ex-girlfriend in high school. She almost molested by her mother's boyfriend. You know, I've been sending stuff at a young age. I'm like, why you just gonna go call the police? She just was scared. You see what I'm saying? Her mama didn't believe her. You know what I mean? I'm telling her, call the police. You know, go talk to the lawman. She never did it. And it's just that people. It's the people in their situations that they be in, that they put people in. You know, you got a man that's a police officer and a preacher. You know, you put it together. You know, even with the situation with, you know, Eddie Long, you know, he never went to prison. He was never convicted. And then you got confessions of boys talking about what they have done. Nobody picked it up. No detective say, let's go over the detail. You see what I'm saying? But the influence and the power give these guys the you know what I'm saying, the right to do what they do, and then it helps other predators do what they do. Because you know what they saying? Hell, if they didn't get caught to go to jail, what make that they gonna put me in prison?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, and the fight keep going. So I you know, I admit those two that come together, brother and sister, that did what they did. You know, you don't want nobody to kill nobody, but at the same time, you know, when you leave nobody no choice, what can they do? You know what I mean? What can they do? And you got to be stopped, and it's hard. That's a hard situation to be in.
Yep.
And it's happening. Oh, man, I appreciate you for sharing that story, man. It's amazing, man. A lot of people, you know, we go through situations like that, but it just never talked about it, never discussed, because it's something, you know, you want to put in the real and keep it moving. But wow, that's amazing, man. Very, very true. Everything you said.
I'm gonna tell.
Yeah, the go ahead.
I'm gonna tell him why he could post that story. I sent a story to put up there since we're talking on kind of on, the sexual exploit. You put that up there. It's a story, a link I sent you. I sent to the chat right before Joanne. But yeah, you go. I mean, that's interesting, and I know that had to be hard, and it is hard to deal with. Because you hear me preach. I have a distaste for child molestation. I just don't.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You got to really show yourself changed. I mean, really, and I'm the only believer a person can change if they actually taking the word. Because when you practice into that, that's a hard thing I can tell them to break out of. Because it's not just the fact of the sex; it's the fact that you are a mind manipulator.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
A raper is not the same as a molester. Because
a
raper can go get, he gonna take. When you got a molester knows how to play and win your trust, and then
that's right.
Hey, he wants to get to this and give you stuff, and then get you somewhere in a situation where now you owe me, and now the person that you're stuck with, oh wow, I gotta do this because you gave me this. So this is practice for them. So the mind manipulation is so much dangerous. So if you're not really honest, this is my take, and I know there are exceptions of it. A person's spirit had to be really convicted to things not to go back to them. That's my conviction. If it was not for my what I seek from Rodney spiritually, it wouldn't be enough for me not to revert back to things I used to do. It's because I've achieved what I'm trying to achieve that it's not even an option.
So I'm trying to find the article. The one that I see is
that's funny.
About you see LA scientists.
Oh, this is about Bixley.
No,
this is about Bixley. It's right before
Paul Bixler.
Yeah.
Okay, that one. Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's Terry. Who that? That's two. She lost it on you then. Who that? Goodness. I got a squeal in the background. I know it ain't me.
I think that's
if anybody does see Porky Mike, please put some mayonnaise on, put some mustard on.
Okay,
Still
oh, that's me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear all that reverb. Yeah, tell him to smash that light. But yeah, why he getting that story? You got it?
Yeah, I got the story. I got it. Here we go. Paul Bixler. Who is Paul Bixler?
I thought they had a video of him too. Oh yeah.
Let me scroll down and see if this is a video.
Oh man.
Oh, is this the video?
Yeah. Let's see. It should be. I pulled it. I watched it on the movie.
Probably going to all do whatever way he finds attractive. But he's on the news admitting that he's felt odd his whole life.
She was
comfortable with him dressing like a woman, and now that she's not around, he can address his feelings. He's admitting that his feeling is, I'm a woman. He's not actually a woman. Did he tell you that? It was on the news. I have the news thing recorded. I finally decided it was time to address my true feelings. I mean, his Facebook says he's a male. His driver's license, I'm sure, says he's a male. His chromosomes say that he's a male.
Disgusting.
He permed his hair and pierced his ears. That's it.
Sick, man.
She said he permed his hair.
That's right.
And he's been going in the women's
Going
restroom.
in the women's locker room again.
He's going in the restaurant.
Look at him.
I guess.
He's got the talk to the
He's going
police.
in the women's locker room again to get his stuff. Yep, there he goes. Women's locker room. There's the man going in the women's locker room. Oh, there's no one undressing in there.
Man. That's cold, man.
Hope there's no naked women in there.
But the law.
Why isn't anyone warning the women?
Oh man, sick, man.
But the law protects them. So
yeah.
I keep saying as a clinician, I keep on saying these people have mental issues. Like it's just not normal.
Right.
You know what
Right.
need to happen? I was telling somebody. This will have to happen. Homosexuality is really a strike against the system. It's that child that says, you know what, I'm gonna go against the grain. If everybody says right, I'm gonna say it's wrong. You're like, but it's right. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's wrong. And you're thinking, but what is the purpose? Because I just don't want to agree. It's not a logical reason. I just don't want to agree. I don't think
disagreeing just to disagree, huh?
So this what we could do to crash their world. That's just a thought. If everybody say, okay, we gay, so you don't have no rights now. Whatever rights afforded you, whatever you got, they all stricken. They don't want to be gay no more. They don't want to be straight. They're just people that chase the opposite way.
Or the hype.
If you flood their world and say you done, we ain't got to do nothing gay. I ain't talking that. You take their words away from them. Then see, think about it. They were faggot, punk, bulldagger, butch. Now you YG, what other than, less than, no other name, transing, tricking in the middle. They just get, I'm nothing. They can't find nothing. So when you crash their word, every time you take something away from them, they lose it because they just want to fight nothing. Don't call me nothing. Okay, so I can't even talk to you. Yes, you address me by my name. What is my name? It's a symbol. What is the symbol? It don't have a name. You wasting time. We can't allow them to keep having stuff they do. You snatch it down. Listen, if you want to say you gay, that's you. We're not putting nothing on no doors. We're not giving you no day. You ain't paying no street. You walk your behind through the lines like everybody else do. We ain't doing it because all they've done is called diversity, and it's terrible because it makes no sense. Because me, I'm not gonna walk through it. I'll take the ticket. I'm too straight to walk through the gay line. It's just the complexion. It's the mental of this. Why am I walking through a street walk that wants to get homage to a behavior that's contrary, that's not even normal, that's repulsive? However it is. You say choice, but when you ask a person who operates in how the world established, your way makes no sense. It makes as much sense as slavery, getting beaten, get hit. You say that's dumb. That's the same thing I say about your behavior. We need to stricken them all their powers. Stricken them. If you slap a gay person, you just slap the human being. But I'm gay. The way you go you get treatment for that, and you get treated for that slap. But we're not gonna give you no extra for it. We'll give you the same thing you get. You cut all this out. Cut it out.
Right.
They said I'm gay. Are you gay? Yeah, but he shouldn't say I'm gay. No, I'm not gay. I'm trans. Yeah. What are you talking about?
What you saying? That's right.
Yeah, like, why are we having this conversation? Anybody else out there agree with us? And then I see so many people. It's like that is your choice. You can't make us who create. You come from straight people. You say, man, somebody say her daddy was gay. Okay, my daddy can only create me by doing a heterosexual act.
That's right.
They say my mother was gay. Okay, they say you came from a homosexual. No, I didn't. I came through a heterosexual way.
Heterosexual way. That's right. Reproduce. That's right.
Man, that is crazy. But that is ridiculous. What's up, Resident Joe?
But Tony, the problem is just that parents are accepting and catering to these behaviors. Little by little, these kids have been catered to. The pants, they look like tights, they look like women. It's just I know a woman that I used to work with. She didn't want to be referred as her or he. She wanted to be referred as it. So how are you going to tell me that's not a mental issue where you prefer to be referred as an object and not as a he or her? And I had to work with this person. So it's just, it has to be some type of mental. And then, like you said, it has to be something that when you were a little kid, a little boy, a little girl, that you were not accepted, or you were too accepted by the parents, that eventually the hype, because I feel like social media was hyping this LGBTQ society, and now it's cool. It's cool to be gay. It's cool to be lesbian. It's like, okay, Now you're a cool
Right.
kid. Now the football players are not the cool kids. Now, like the gay and the lesbians
Right.
are the cool kid in the high school. And I'm just gonna say just how it is. Parents have accepted this, and they've actually helped the kids to become who they are now. So a lot of the things that I don't want to keep on blaming it on the parents, but who's raising these kids? You
Right.
know, it's just I know eventually eventually they kind of rebel against the parents. But I remember
Right.
trying to rebel against my mother, and I got corrected, and I had
Right.
to go straight to the line. It's just, there are certain things that we can do to make things a little better, but some other things are easier to be done, such as letting the kid be whoever he wants to be.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm.
You gonna in Henry Grady house, you're gonna be what Henry Grady wants you to be.
Man.
They got that. Listen, Henry Grady had me one way around.
That's right.
I heard that. I know, Resident Joe. I know you sent out an article earlier today that pretty much, it encompasses every single discussion that you talked about just now. The LGBT community, how they're raising their kids, and things. If you got a second, I just want to briefly share this particular article. If you don't mind, Resident Joe, could you speak on it a little bit? Tell us more details about it. How did you come about this article right here?
Actually, one of my colleagues, she sent it to me because I am against this just discussing to me. So eventually, I remember since I started I went to undergrad, I was fighting for this because I remember being in a classroom and everyone fighting for the LGBTQ community, and then they asked for my opinion. And then I said, I'm against it. And then they asked me, in my career, you can't really say you're against this LGBTQ community because you're supposed to accept them and etc. But I said I'm against it, and they said, why are you against someone that's happy? I said, well, there's a lot of behavior that you're happy doing it, but doesn't mean it's correct, such as having sex with animals, doing molestation. These things are behaviors that make people happy. However, they're not right. So eventually we were talking about the conversation of why not allow gay couples to adopt children when there's so many children that need parents. I said, because they need the mother and the father figure. What do you mean? So eventually she sent me this, and it was just like, it's just frustrating. Our kids, again, keep on getting the back burner of everything that's happening here in this world. It's like they're victims, again, our children. So yeah, so it's just disturbing to me. So I wanted to share.
You know what? Look, man. I mean, what hurt now? Also, welcome, Confederate State 48. We appreciate you. We see you there.
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure we don't ignore you. Act like we don't see you. We see you down there.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
just to it on him. Let me tell you what we ought to do. When they have these gay parade, all straight people, couples need to go down there, holding each other's hand, look and watch, and look at how pissed they'll be that you ignore. Go down, come down there just to ignore them and do what they should do. Just be normal.
Right.
There's no way you can tell me
Yeah.
you're on another day. I'm just telling y'all, standing here
That's
kissing
right.
me and my white kid, you saying we are equivalent to this couple. There is no way mentally.
No
that
way.
you can say you're
That's
equivalent.
right.
You have to
That's
get together
right.
with other people of that like mind. And they can say, well, it's not all LGBTQ other. I think it's an O now because they got an other. Because see, all the others, they said that too many people say that's how confused they are. You're a woman, you a lesbian, you're a man, you a gay. They can't, and there's too many saying gay, so they got to get on. Oh, okay, I'm gonna be a queer. Okay, too many queers now. Okay, I'm gonna be a trans, but you ain't got operation. Well, I'm gonna be a trainee. You're like, just stop. Just you are a man. You're a woman. You make
You're a
choices.
man, you're a woman. That's right.
You do what you do, but don't
That's right.
don't come pushing that on us. We don't have to stop no traffic. What day did we have they stop traffic for heterosexual people to walk down the street? We hold up traffic.
Never.
So we can walk out. You need a march to tell you you're a man or a woman. Society and television rearing our people, giving them their decisions. That's why they cheat. That's why they keep picking these. Nobody never heard of all these. You either lesbian, boy diger, you were either punk or you was a cis. That was it.
Now they got pansexuals and all this other stuff.
At this point, if they want to be gay, let them be gay. But sodomizing children, why? Why are you sodomizing children? Like, why are you abusing these
That's right.
children that
But
have
see-
not said they are gay?
right.
They haven't even grown
That's
up.
But
right.
you said the
Sodomizing
answer
them.
when you asked the question.
Yeah.
You said we're not messing with children if you're gonna be gay. That's just it. Why? Because the behavior is undisciplined. People might not want to say
That's
it's an undisciplined behavior. It's a choice. It don't take nothing to be gay, just break discipline. It is a
That's right.
natural proning for a man to attract to a woman. It is natural for a woman to attract to a man. It is not natural for a man to attract to another man, nor is it natural for another man. You ever seen lightning strike lightning?
Nope.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't.
Have you ever seen the sun stare at the sun? The sun stares
It's
into
impossible.
darkness. He says the sun cannot stand into the sun. Okay, lightning cannot
That's
hit
right.
lightning. They say lightning
That's right.
don't hit nowhere twice. It can't strike itself.
Right.
It makes no
Okay.
sense that a man can pole himself. That a woman can. It makes no sense. But if you're in your mind, it makes sense because you are unaccepting of disciplines. There are things that you break disciplines. What you said, table? You
That's right.
farting and digging in your nose at the same time. Who said, "Oh yeah, that's normal"? I said, "What are you doing? You don't do that." How is it we will stop a person who have natural bodily function and saying you can control yourself and get away from this table, but the sister can't control itself? You know, this man can control himself against another man. You know, you're not supposed to dig his nose. This woman she can dig in another woman. How do we have these rules and we say here
Oh,
rules? It's
That's
crazy.
right. That's right. That's right.
That's crazy.
That's right.
So they adopted
right.
the children.
2 children. That's sick.
Yeah.
I
I don't figure.
do you think at some point in their mind, I mean, I want to, as my regular human being, at some point in their mind where they're thinking that they were teaching their behavior to these children, such
Oh,
as,
they
you know,
teaching.
parents are teaching, you know, their behavior to their children, like a father and a mother. So I'm guessing that
Yeah.
they're teaching them that it's okay to have sex through their behind. So here they are doing that to the children. It's just like,
Yeah. Yep.
that's how I know they're
Nope.
mental.
Anybody supporting that ain't gay theyself. They gay theyself. You know what I mean? That's what I figure. If you supporting it and you go along with it and teaching your kids and you hugging them and kissing them, that cause you that way yourself. Ain't no man and no woman gonna accept their kids being no homosexual and no lesbian. And if you ain't involved in it with yourself. That's why I say some of these women that go on these girl trips and these men go on these men trips, that's because they're probably doing each other.
That's right. It's a lot of that.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff going on. Yeah, that's why they accept their kids doing it. Because they doing it themselves. They done been fumbled with. I hear a lot of conversations with a lot of people. That you know how people talk to you because they think you know what I mean, and you in the conversation with them and they sit and just run their mouth and they just tell you stuff that go on. Yeah, I mean that's what's happening out there in the world. These people that's together, they eating each other and they banging each other. And that's why they accept it so easy. You understand what I'm saying? No self-righteous man or woman that love a man and love a woman would accept anything like that and be angry. It wouldn't be angry. You understand what I'm saying? You'll be pissed. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter, your son come in and say, I like a man and like a woman. There's no way Dwayne Wade ain't a punk himself.
Oh,
That he allow his son to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
In the black
Yeah.
joint.
You're right. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
And it's sad. They picked the fight with us. We fight with them. You know, just been honest. Heterosexual.
right.
You can't even say the word gay, homosexual. I don't let anybody.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not out here with all no shirt trying to explain why I'm straight. And you don't need to give me no, I already know why. I don't have to have a conversation with you to know why you're doing it. I know why you're doing it.
That's right.
So you
That's
can try
right.
to say, okay, I'm molested. That's not a justification for you doing what
Right.
you're doing. But if you
That's right.
dislike what happened, anything, it makes you more of an advocate, proponent against it.
That's
You
right.
know the trauma, the stress, the different things like that. But instead, they become predators themselves now, and they look
That's
at
right.
invoking the same thing on other people.
That's right.
What you think?
That's
Federal
right.
State?
Confederate.
Your phone, it's low. We can't hardly hear you.
Let's turn up the volume here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's low.
How's that?
There we go. That's what we need, James.
That's
All
it.
right. Let's start out with good afternoon to the Fabulous Five.
All right.
Resident Joe.
Joe.
Love Doctor.
That's right.
Tony Smith.
That's right.
The missing link. The wolf himself, Charles Boston.
Yes, it is.
And we can't leave our nephew E. This is your neighbor, Confederate.
Oh man, that's appreciate you.
Hit that like button.
That's it.
Hit that
Yes, sir.
Hit
That's
that
right.
share, and
Hit
hit
that
that
Okay.
That's
That's
right.
bad.
Pick up a copy. Make sure you pick up a copy of Wound Management.
My man, that's right. Yes, sir.
That's right.
AKA the cat in the hat. That's right.
But I'm not done. I slipped last week. I'm not done. Make sure that you support Barack products.
That's
All
all
right.
right.
Absolutely.
That's all right.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
good.
right.
And I want to kind of add in here a little bit. Kind of chime in. You guys covered a wide variety of different things. There's something I just want to talk about, just kind of briefly touching on when you guys were talking about Madonna, and you guys were talking about some of these other prolific figures in society. It's not strange. It's not something uncommon. Do you guys remember John Harvey Kellogg?
Yep.
If we don't remember him, he's noted for what people pretty much know him as being the founder of the Kellogg's brand for like breakfast cereals and things of that nature. But we soon to forget that this man was a eugenics. He was a proponent of the demise of the so-called Negro, and I believe that he used that platform to induce different types of harmful chemicals to the so-called Negro in the cereals, the high fruit, corn, fruit. What is it? Corn, high
fructose.
Fructose.
Yeah.
He said, and things like that. I believe that has a lot to do with chemical imbalances in the mind when it comes to health and things of that nature. And I think that we were subjects of his experiments back in the times that he was doing all of this. He felt as though that blacks were inferior to whites, and then they tried to push his daughter on us, which she's an icon, which she's no better than he is if she came from him, Florence Nightingale. She was an individual that was supposed to have done so much in, I believe it was World War II, but she was a racist herself. Moving right along, we know about the child exploitation. We can look at their well-respected Mother Teresa. She exploited children, and she went through the Catholic Church. And so it's not strange that we see these entertainers and all of these people that they do this child trafficking and sex trafficking, and they do it all in the name of Christianity. They do it in the name of under the Catholic Church. They're endorsed by these popes and these cardinals and these bishops, and the Negro he takes on that same type of doctrine when he walks around. He flaunt around in his couture gowns and robes and his long chain that hangs down to his crotch, and be flamboyant. So we've been seeing this song and dance for a very long time, but the so-called Negro is so addicted, in my opinion, to pain and hurt till he's not satisfied unless he's being abused and
use himself
and taken advantage of. But when we become conscious, and that's why I'm so grateful to be a part of the Way of Yah Synagogue, Mishpachah, and Two Mics in the Mind family, that we can bring self-awareness to our people to let us know that if we don't begin to start implementing some type of strategy, it's just a matter of time before it's at our front door. It's just some things that I just I'm just fed up with. Like Dr. Joe was saying about parents taking full responsibility of the upbringing of their children. I know you guys are familiar with this new show that's come out. it's a big hit right now, and it's called the Parent Test, parental test. And what they do, they take these different families and they put in these hidden cameras, and they show how different family structures, how they raise their children, and how they address certain situations and things like that. And they have a gay couple, interracial couples. They have different, they show different dynamics of, how parents raise their children. And the ironic thing about it is, even when you see it on the television show, it's always the so-called Negro family that has the most structure. And why is that? We have less resources, but we just have an ability to be able to think ethically, to know that it's wrong to sleep with children, and to know it's wrong to do things of that nature. And we frowned upon that years ago. But with the in wake of all the stuff that's been going on with the so-called Negro, the Tiffany Haddish scandal, the Wayne Wade, and we're seeing D.L. Hughley, Charles Barkley.
Man, it's a list of them. It's a lot of them, man.
It's a list of them. And now our so-called role models, they've fallen into this same category that they're no better than our counterpart.
That's right.
I'll leave it to someone else, but I mean, it's just a wide array of different things in which we're combating on all fronts. And if we don't stick together and stay together, we're going to be in a real pickle here.
I think it's time for our people to we got to pass some, like, fair state for that. We got to pass some kind of it needs to be passed a law that if a homosexual, lesbian, if you're a straight person, straight man, straight woman, and a homosexual or lesbian will come up to you and does these kind of things, they should be you have a right to press charges against them.
That's
you
right.
Understand what I'm saying? You have a right to press charges. I mean, if I'm standing in line in a store and this faggot come walking here and come up to me just because the world accept this, they don't give you a right to come to me and do it. You know what I mean? I'm a straight man. You know what I mean? Don't harass me, man. I don't support it. I don't care for it. If that's what you do, that's you. But you should go mess with the people that's gay.
Right.
Because I believe in my heart, and I need to cut y'all, but I believe in my heart, I believe this here. I believe homosexuals and lesbians don't go after their own kind, they go after straight people.
Well, of course they don't, because it would be the same thing. I heard a person say Satan ain't after the people that he already got. He's after the ones that he's trying to get. He don't harass people that he already own and possess. And I think what we should do, I think we should start a movement, and we should call it, since this country was built on Christian principles and ethical principles, and what the Lion Fathers were saying, in the words of our beloved Tony Smith, the Lion Fathers, we should call it what the Bible called them, abomination, to see how they like
that. That's right.
They stand on the Bible. Why let's just call them what the Bible called it, an abomination. And
abomination. That's right.
How far that go? I guarantee you that it'll be on the floor of the Supreme Court in a matter of minutes. Y'all trying to outlaw that word, abomination.
Yeah, that's right.
It was founded on these principles.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think it's right.
Like Rock Smith said, not to cut you off, nephew, but like Rock Smith said,
no, you good.
He's trying to make men be men again. He's trying to make no children again. He's trying to put homes together. And what pisses me off is you sit there and you look at the way of y'all channel, and they got the audacity to say it's entertainment. Yeah. But then you got the same thing. You get in, you put Farrakhan and Geno Jennings and all these
TDJ
and talk about his religious material, and then go call our his information, talk about that is entertainment. That's a slap in the face, and then you shadow ban them because you know it's the truth.
Know it's the truth. That's right. Yeah, that's right. All these old faggot gay preachers, man, these niggas sisters, man. Sisters to the heart.
They
whole church is sisters.
They interview these guys. They endorse these guys. They do backdoor deals like I say, and they are highly respected in the community because they're all are part of a same system that's trying to destroy the stability of the so-called Negro.
So-called Negro, yes, sir.
I want to add
Wow.
one last thing, if I may, before I shut my yap trap.
No, you know, right?
It's like this. It's simple as this. Okay, you have the right to be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
But what you do not have the right is to infringe on an individual's right.
Yeah.
You don't have that opportunity. If you
That's
want
right.
to be gay, you can be gay. But when you begin to invade other people's real estate, that means my television.
That's
I
right.
bought that television. You have no right to interrupt my broadcasting, my programming to show me something that I disagree with.
Exactly.
Right.
FCC,
That's right.
They're
Right.
a part of it. All of these people are a part of it because they're the ones that perpetuate it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I was watching the interview. Confederate State 4, they say I was watching the interview with Shirley Caesar on it. What's the cat name? Uncle Raha, I think you was on when you was on the Lexi show. Was up there with sitting with Jamal Bryant. No, the other one, the other bright cat was sitting next to Jamal Bryant. Yeah,
Boom.
He was interviewing her. He was interviewing her, and they were talking about the LGBTQ, whatever the hell you want to call it. And she got up there. I mean, this supposed to be a mother of the ministry, right? You know what I mean? People looked up to. Man, they were asking her about homosexuality. We need to leave that alone, and we don't need to offend people. And I'm like, you sick. I mean, I said something else, but it just go to show you just where these people been at all this time. I mean, these are elder people talking like this. You see what I'm saying? Elderly people.
You know what? Nephew E. And I'm gonna employ you to help me out with this.
Right.
The book clearly tells us about. I think it's in AU. I believe it's in 39. They said 39 or 37. They said years would seem that the older you get, that you would have wisdom and common sense. But it says, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, that years does not translate to wisdom. You have these people that are older, they don't have the sense that they were born with, you know. And then to confirm what Dr. Joe had said about the children, there's another account in the Sefer. I think it's in Marshall 30. It talks about the children, about a generation how the generation was going to be as such that they were going to be righteous in their own eyes, and that they were going to be. I believe it's in Marshall 30. I could be wrong, but it's not surprising to us. And he's doing like Koff said, he's trying to stir up our pure minds to get us to be conscious of what's going on.
That's what's going on,
and accept everything that these people push before us.
Yeah, he's warning us. That's right. Yeah, that's right. He's warning us.
You're right. Personally, you know where we at now is so far off from the map. What we need to do and get people to kind of realize.
Yeah.
If we can get them to understand the plan, you know, as he giving it to us, and get our people to really, you know, get conscious on this is how far the world has gotten because we have been conscious we are, and people in general.
That's right.
And they've induced all of us with such a rage and hate. And for whatever reason, we never all taken it out on the people that done it to us. You know,
that's right.
Takes out the black community takes out the Hispanic community, the white community takes out the black community. And everybody, you know, targeting each other in communities, yet we're not looking at a system that's actually predicated on taking, you know, because the homosexuality only become as large as it is because of how promise being shown. You couldn't show with a gay person. They had a little roll kind of back, and you could tell, you know, that's if you ignored it because they made the show so well because they had to get you to accept it. Then they get great, and the whole show is going to be based upon the gay person. Now there's the family's whole gay, the new Martin, and now every time they do these shows, look at the effect. Another thing I tried to find, they have some other new reality show where these single women are going looking for men. And if I'm correct, I know I saw in the news. They're actually going to be dating their son.
No way.
They say this show is getting ready. Look it up. Yeah, it was a show. Part of it. They had the guy standing behind a thing, and it was like They said this show is in a lot of people and a lot of outrage about this show, but the mother is actually looking at picking her son.
Oh, goodness.
But see, where did they think we were going? This when you think about it, this is the problem with people they quote unquote call heterosexual straight. I'm just gonna go real straight.
Yeah.
This is what because we know it is. That don't bother me. Don't worry about it. I mean, a show about mothers dating their
own child.
Yes,
goodness mercy.
Even look at we're dealing with homosexuality. Help drag queen RuPaul. So
yeah.
It just keep pushing. Should have been made. Viewers shocked at TLC new show. What's that?
MILF.
MILF.
Okay.
Yeah, MILF Manor puts mothers and sons in the same dating pool.
Is it that? Yeah, the mother's gonna pick her son to date him.
Oh my goodness.
Goodness mercy. What do y'all think this is pushing?
Yeah.
These are all he told you it's right.
That's right.
You're not supposed to do this.
That's right.
He's giving you all the things. This is not new. Man was sleeping with men way back.
Way back, yes, sir.
Way back, but you were broken away from that behavior.
That's
man,
right.
multiple people said, no, you shouldn't do this.
That's right.
And these people going there, and I guarantee you that justification that it's in the Bible. Well, I want people in the time when they were, he was trying to create a race of people that was going to be purified by behavior because they kept the ordinance. So it made the sense. Plus, man was being generate popular. You know, it's just like when they take species and they bring them in, they'll make them in the cage together. But when they release them in the wild, they set them to go free so they can go and make them up.
Go destroy. That's right.
When the numbers are up, because in captivity, who else can they make sex with itself inside cage?
That's right.
But once they get the numbers up, what you do, you release them in the wild.
You release them to the wild. That's right.
Every other animal forces the male out of it so they don't to make sure they don't cross back over each other that way. You have to start your own. But here in the human race, they start with each other. There's no way to procreate. You're going to kill. It's bad when animals who don't read books, who don't understand science,
got medicine.
That's what you realize. You cannot stay inside this group. And we
That's right.
Challenge.
That's
they
right.
know that they cannot. You never seen a gay line. Where do you get this from? It's bad. What is that? Brothers to Murgatroyd. Stop it. They have killed us.
Dr. Joe.
Oh man.
Your mic low again, Federer.
Oh, so, Doctor, how's it now?
It's still the same.
It's still low?
Yeah, it's still low, but we hear you.
I
know we hear you.
Is it a little better now?
A little better. We had it a minute, it was better.
Dr. Joe, I have a question for you, and Miss Toole, if you would, you can chime in as well, and also you two gentlemen. I was reading an article, and I was actually looking at a segment, and it was a case in your part of the country. It was, and what's your thoughts on it? It was called it's called rape by deception. Are you familiar with that concept?
I heard that.
I mean, I can kind of understand what it means, but I'm
right. I'm gonna give you the actual case. I don't know the gentleman's name, but you would probably know. And I'm alluding to something, but I want to ask you what are your thoughts about it, and the panel as well. There was a police officer in New Jersey. Okay, he had got fired from the force, and he was dating women, and he was falsifying his identity to establish relationships with these women. And so what happened was this particular woman that he was dating, he slept with her, and she came to find out that he wasn't who he said he was. And that's it. Thank you, love doctor. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so my thing is, this is what humanity has reduced themselves to actually falsify identities just to deceive others to have sexual relations with them. What's your thought on that, as far as what type of mind frame does an individual have to have if as far as their mental health to deceive someone, and what is the mental health of the victim, in your opinion, that has been victimized by something like that?
Honestly, I don't consider that to be rape. And also, what mind do someone have to have? The mind of 2023. Everyone has to lie in order to be accepted in this 2023 life. So it's so sad that men have to get to that point in order to be liked and accepted by certain women, and it's so sad that women have to lie in order to be accepted by certain men. So I think majority of the mentality nowadays is like this man.
Somebody phone we hear somebody is reverb bad. We was talking.
Go ahead. I think I just fixed it. Go ahead.
So I don't consider this man to have raped this woman because they decided to have sex with him according to what he said he was. So, you know, liar, yes, he's a liar. I can call him a liar, but not a raper. And again, mentality, it just doesn't surprise me. Everything is a lie. You know, filters, fake boobs, fake butt. The same thing with men, fake everything. It's just like we live in a fake world.
Right.
So
Right.
this doesn't surprise me. I mean, the mind of our people are becoming a lot of self-centered people. So
That's right.
You know, so it's not surprising to me, but again, I wouldn't say it's rape.
No, I definitely wouldn't say that's rape. Not forceful. That sounds like something that's consensual, you know. I mean, he can say rape by the subject of a woman is wearing, you know, weave and makeup, and she deceived me into who she was based on her, you know, you know. So how far you want to take this? You can't, you know.
Did she rape you? Would you say that she raped you, or when you woke up and she didn't have? No, it was a lie, but deceiving.
Yeah.
But everyone deceives nowadays in order to get what they want. That's just society nowadays.
Yeah. Tilda, he said, "Want to hear what you had to say about it." Tilda.
He said what he wanted to hear. What you
I'm sorry. I don't agree that's rape. If that's the case, we've all lied before we had sex. So we should. None of us should be here.
Yeah.
Free. That is. We've all lied. If you've had sex before marriage, you've all even probably before. Even if you didn't have sex before marriage, you lied.
Someone lying in it, man. You know, the thing is, he found some people to show you that these women look that they're giving up their body wasn't easy as it's the right job or the right offer, right money. And when you got there, Caucasian women, I seen a movie about something like that. They had these women. He would tell them he was taking them through a training. He had a couple of guys he would kidnap. I remember saying, you remember that movie? He took them out. He was treating them like they were on the test. They were going through a test to be accepted by the agency. He would leave them and tell them they had to stay. So when he had some of them living, having his kids tell them they were, you know, spying on people they needed to perform acting. This is all about where's your mind at? You know, the fact that you'll give up your body because somebody offering you a job. You know, it's like these people did, and it's he manipulated them. He did. Like, it's just like a filter and other things people lie. If you use it, almost similar to, but not to the same, you know, deceiving he did. But borrow your friend, or you meet a girl, yeah, this is my car. Or we would go out sometimes. We would tell somebody we were cousins. Women would do that. Oh, but this is my sister. Or this, you'll meet them. You know, they just say that. You know, this is the story we're gonna roll with. But it's still not to the detriment of what he tried to do. But it just shows you how sad the world is. That, you know, everybody's it's almost everybody. It's not everybody. That's such a large number, but everybody's a cone in a sense. You know, it's just a cone. If you get people to being, you know, just flat, you can be you with restrictions where, you know, be you to enough that it don't take another person's life. You know, take another person's life. And unfortunately, in society, the only thing we know how to do is to kill one another if we don't like each other. We don't know how. Let's coexist with boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And had it like, you know, hey, I remember Will Smith on Bad Boys 2 and tell him how he got shot. I remember that. He said, man, get it up. And man, he said, listen, oh, we friends. He said, we're gonna take your ration, flash, my mama kid, we're gonna put in this box. This thing gonna be so deep at the bottom. You want to be that Cousteau to get this. He said, we got boundaries.
Yeah, that's right.
He cut out.
That's right.
We're not gonna talk. So we just, I mean, you want to be that? We don't have to talk about it. No more. I got to
That's
talk
right.
to you about it straight. Let's
That's right.
have. Hey, listen. I don't want. You ain't got to dance in front of the table in front of me. Cut your stuff. See if you can be the loudest person talking, so I can acknowledge you for being homosexual.
Mhm.
We don't have to do that because now it's gonna be a. I want to show I'm a man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I do it as loud as you can ever be a fake woman or a fake man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to do that. Just live who you are. Everything will prove itself out.
That's right.
No laws to make me like do this for you or make me not say it for you. If you comfortable, that's what you are. That's what you are.
That's
I don't
right.
have this.
Dr. Joe.
Yo, it's real low again.
Dr. Joe, another question.
It's real low again, Confederate.
Confederate is really
It's
low.
real low.
Oh,
Can't hear you.
Okay.
Now we
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Ron Jeremy. So he's on trial. For those that don't know who Ron Jeremy is, he was a well-known
Porn
adult
stuff.
film star.
Mhm.
So he's on trial right now for rape and a sexual
Yep.
assault on
Yep.
on women. So, but they're saying that he's not competent to stand trial. What is
Right.
your thoughts on that? That's what I was alluding to, because this was a professional that
Yep.
he's allegedly have raped
Yep.
some of his co-stars, and now
Right.
they're saying that he's not competent to stand trial.
Stand trial. Yep. I remember that. I saw that. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so disclaimer. I mean, not as a third. I feel like in order for me to say that someone is consensual, I would have to do an assessment. So I don't know where he
Right.
stands. But unfortunately, a lot of this clinical and mental health is used to get away with a lot of things.
Right.
But in this particular case, I haven't assessed anyone, so I don't know particular if he is, if he's in his senses in order to be on trial. I don't know. I can't say it's a lie or it's not a lie.
Right.
But all I can say is that unfortunately, a lot of people are using mental health as a way out.
Right.
And one of the reasons I'm saying that is because I haven't like necessarily watched anything that he has, but I'm quite sure if he's in that industry, he has done things like bondage and doing aggressive type, having aggressive sex scenes. So how is it that you're not competent? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of confusing to be you're looked at as a professional in this industry, but now all of a sudden you're incompetent. I just don't understand that.
Like Tony has taught us so many times, a lot of these people in charge and this courts and etc., they also have done this behavior, so they don't see it as detrimental or so big as it should be looked at. So we also have to see that.
We salute you, Cheryl Bostic. Welcome to the Wolf. What's the latest and greatest?
Hey, welcome there. How you doing there, sir?
How you doing? I'm blaming my tardiness on Smitty. So
yeah.
I knew you were
It's always
going
you around, Miss Tooley.
I knew
can I testify or can I?
Yes.
Excuse my tardiness.
Yes.
What
All right. I just say within my quest, I have a lot of whatever on my journey. I have received some treasures along the way. I just feel like that. So, and these treasures I can be able to impart onto you. All right. So here I go. So long story short is, did you all know FedEx sold books?
No, they sell books.
Yeah,
like a bookstore. No, I didn't know that.
The books they got from the mail where they ain't never deliver.
No. These are like bestsellers. And the reason
FedEx.
the reason how I know because I read like 5 pages of each book. Sitting down on the floor on a rolling cart.
You read 5 pages out of each book.
Yeah, so
I'm
now
good.
I'm trying to find the article on it. You say it's FedEx Books.
I don't know what your level of education is, sir.
Make a difference. FedEx owns a bookstore. You never said they got FedEx books.
I'm racing against time, and I can't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to find where's the FedEx bookstore. I'm trying to find the article about it. I don't see anything.
Man, trying to get in.
I'm in FedEx bookstore. They're like, look, it's not a bookstore.
They're not a bookstore. They got books.
FedEx sells books inside of the store.
Yeah.
Right.
So, back at it.
Yeah.
On my leaving the FedEx store, I had like 6 quotes just start coming to me. You know, I want to share this with you guys. All right,
let's do it. 6 quotes. Let's do it.
It wasn't 6. We'll see how many I get through. You have to listen to their actions, and you got to watch their words.
Mm-hmm.
Why is a homeless man homeless?
Wait, hold on. Wait. The first is listen to the action and watch their words.
Yeah.
That ain't no quote you made up. I've been using that quote.
Okay, he did say
He didn't say he made it up.
He said he had 6 quotes.
In the FedEx, so you could have just asked me
No, time out. No, you go find the quote. You find that quote.
I quoted it.
No, you
I
did.
got it right here.
You find
Them people can right to me.
You find the quote, and then you call me a liar. I know I ain't read that. I ain't got this last night. That was up there.
Right.
Y'all think I wake up in the morning?
All right.
Hey, y'all think I wake up in the morning and got time to study? So, okay.
Hey, Sean Boston.
Is this what I said was? I said, why is a homeless man homeless? Is because he didn't take care of what he had. He didn't take what he had. You know what I'm saying? And so I just kept going. And I was like, you know what, man? I said, why is it that people with money, they spend a lot of the money. So I was in a thought there. I just thought, I said, you know what? I got it. I said, people with money pay for things that they think will make them money, but people with less money, they will invest or pay for things that know that will make money. And you said, what? People with money will invest in things that think that will make money.
Okay.
So other people with money but have more financial success, invest in things that know that will make them money.
Hey, Sean Boston.
Hold on one second. I don't want to get cut off on this. This is amazing.
Go for it.
So it just goes on the quickness of the mind of the person. So after I left FedEx, I swiped my card, and that lady said, she said, I read books all the time. I said, see, the thing is, people who read all the books, and all the stories, they're very methodical or they're very calculated with their career path. People who don't read books, they more like the entrepreneur. They go get it. They learn by experience. They keep going. So let me pass by that. I told that lady, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna read none of these books I just bought. album cover shopping. You see the titles, and I'm gonna grab that, and you ain't gonna never read it one day. It was just a good thing. So, long story short, as I started to get on 75 and 138, my body began to just drop. Boom. I said, I'm dying. I said, no, I'm not dying. I got work to do. Man, I started thinking. I said, "Boy," I said, "How did you never think this much?" I said, "Hold on, let me make a phone call." I said, "Smitty, did you put hemp in that popcorn that I had last night?"
She did.
And she said, "Oh yeah," and that was pop then. So that was. I said, after that, my buddy said, I said, let me go to the wife and tell her what's going on. So if I don't make it, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta watch out her and that popcorn, man. You gotta watch
it. I got down about 3.3 miles from my house. What was it? 2. I said, "Oh." I said, there is no way I can go to this thing called dinner at 6 o'clock. There's no way. I called my wife and like I was giving my last instructions before leaving Earth. I want you to pick up the phone. I said, call Amora and tell her Daddy won't make it to the game. If you need me to bring the camera, I'll bring it. My wife returned to me and said, she'll be all right with that camera. You gotta lay down. I said, baby, hey, please just give me my last request.
Your last request?
Wow.
It wasn't like a last request. It was like, I don't want to argue. Just grant me and do this for me, baby, please. Y'all, I have been asleep till 10 o'clock.
You overslept. Oh man, Smitty.
I did apologize, and I was worried when he called because he was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get home. I gotta make it home. I don't know how I'm gonna get home. Oh my gosh, how is he gonna get home?
Listen,
I was like, okay, and then you showed up. I was like, yes.
That popcorn got that popcorn. Listen, that popcorn good.
Preacher, I had the bag is like this.
I seen it, man. It was kind of.
When I got through when I was eating and I was hungry for you.
I had to keep eating. Yeah. Them popcorn you can't play with.
And then after I was on my philosophical, I was on my thought.
Yeah, rolling.
I'm rolling.
In your mind.
I said, I'm hungry some more. So I go for the second half and I finish it. So when that happened, boom, man, listen, my body shut down. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? That was just the first half of first wave. I gotta wait for the second half that I ate. Yeah. I said, if I ain't make that first round, I'm dead.
Listen.
All right, I'm done, man. I just want to tell y'all that good story.
Man, well, welcome. I'm glad to see you.
Yeah, we're
man.
glad. And also, somebody answered the mystery. Why are people homeless? You know why?
They don't have a home.
Because they stopped being home more.
Miss Tooley.
Think about it. They ain't home anymore.
Miss Tooley.
Ain't no sunshine.
I believe they gunning for you and your thoughts of the show at the end of the show. I think Sean Boston is infringing on your territory. So don't give him no more popcorn.
Listen, I had to have my him.
And you got all that.
Popcorn, yeah, I do him. I don't do.
Just in case I don't make it.
Wow. Hilarious, man. That guy's hilarious, man.
I like to just become. This is how I concentrate. So he is not him.
Right.
Him. Now I'm gonna tell you what I can't do. I can't do the gunman. I ain't down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't do the gunman. The gunman. You gotta be strong for the gunman.
Oh, what a marvelous night tonight.
It is.
Absolutely.
How you been feeling? Tell how you been feeling.
I had a CT scan today. I go get some results back. I've had pneumonia for about 3 weeks. So I'm managing. when I get these results back, then I think I'm gonna have to send you an email, which I already know that you already and the rest of the Mystical Man for law. But I'm feeling really. I'm like, I'm on like on a seesaw. Physically, emotionally, I'm pretty stable. But outside of that, my health is just so unpredictable at the moment. So, but once I get those results back Monday, I'll send you an email and ask you guys to continue to pull off for me. I'm approaching that deadline that they tried to project to me. So that's kind of troubling in itself.
I'm trying to set you up. I got somebody's number I want to see you.
Okay.
Or text. Like I said, text me. I'm gonna send you a number. I want you to text them.
Okay.
I'm not told you to text them. And they know what you got going on. They specialize in those areas. So
yes, sir.
She's a good lady. So I got a lot of people. We go there and see her. Totally. Joanna been to see Wayne on there. I've seen Dr. Chong.
What
Yeah,
do they? I'm sorry. I'm having a real big issues with I have the kidney disease. So I want to try to find something that's
what I'm saying.
Holistic that can help me with that. Because with the myeloma and the kidney disease, they kind of collide with each other. What kind of gets me, And then when I had that strong dose of chemo, it naturally brings my white blood count down, so I would get prone to infection. So sometime on the show, I have a mask on because it's I had dropping exposed. But outside of that, everything is great. Sean Bostic, you'll be here in about another 2 weeks? The Super Bowl, a couple more weeks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I could, I'm probably gonna send you a message on your Instagram, and if you're in the vicinity, I'm serious. I want to get that autograph. I'm serious. You laughing? I'm serious. I'm serious.
By that time, I'll have a book for you to autograph. I keep in the box.
You gonna have a book for me to autograph?
Once he get through that pop.
You know what we need to do, man? We might need to get him a special copy of that wound management.
That's right.
So you can autograph all that too, man. That we might have to do. We might have to send that out there.
Planning on now putting the same author of The Cat in the Hat. Put your name and put Cat in the Hat.
But The Cat in the Hat was a bestseller. So hey, that's
facts.
Yeah, it's bad to get a book called The Cat in a Hat and ask the people what the book about. Everybody's hat. I don't know how many pages we need to put in.
Man. Nephew E, when I'm back down in Houston on our family reunion vacation, I gotta come and look you up too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but I just
again.
Let me say this real quick. You remember you were talking about the flags and stuff, about how every nation has their flags.
Yeah.
I've been really in deep thought and concentration about that, and I don't know who within our, I don't want to call it organization, within our network, that we need to really come up with something that can identify us, to set us apart, to let us know the back that, because like you said, the disclaimer is that you are for the liberation of our people, and that you're a proponent for that, and we need to have something visual to represent that, in my opinion. So whatever we can do collectively, I think that would be a good idea, to give something tangible that people can actually gravitate to and kind of support the movement.
I appreciate that. You're definitely right. That's something we want to work on. We want you to get better and get stronger too. Whatever we can do on that end. Our knowledge, our health, our wealth, all these is this shalom. This is the real what he intended for us, and not just saying, "Hey, take care." No, I don't want you to just take care. I want to see you in a place, in a situation where you are better, and that's something we have to want for ourselves. We always enjoy every Thursday night coming to each and every one of our homes, talking with you, and you letting us in, conversating. Those that send email, text, and they tell her hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the cash out. What we do, we appreciate you popping in. Hey, if anybody asks you mind, you tell them you always mind. Every Thursday night, right here at 8:30 p.m. You might see my mind. No
Yeah.
matter
Never
what
mind.
we
That's right.
we love it. I let him just call it home. Tula, love Dr. Resident Joe. Shara Boston, take us home.
Yeah.
Hey, Smitty, can I have the pre-quote?
He on pre-quote. Yeah. Then we're gonna match and see which one the best.
Pre-quote.
That's a
Who want to
pre-quote.
go first?
Never,
Oh, here it is.
never deprive someone of their hope. It
Oxygen.
could be the only thing that they have.
That's sad.
That's tight.
I thought he said I just knew it was the oxygen.
That's what we doing.
Yeah, that's the first. We still gotta hear the sound. We gotta hear her before we can
Let's hear the
judge
second
now.
one then.
It's tight.
Let's
You
see.
can
Let's
say,
see.
never to try nobody.
Well, you made it real tight for me, sir. All right.
That's it.
It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful.
Ooh,
Like that.
Say that one again.
that was complex.
I
Never
ain't catch it.
deprive.
Say it again. You changed the words. Say it again.
It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful.
All right, so since she get the,
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And he
You just
said here
inspired me,
last.
Tuli.
Huh?
You just inspired me, Tuli.
Okay, he got one. Oh, here you go.
Can I enter mine?
Let's go here.
I just got one. Can I enter mine?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Always remember.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will forget.
hey, that's just something.
I got one.
Mine was up here. Both of them reading from the computer. Let me look up one too.
Now straight over here.
So, did you make that up while on your
Yeah,
head?
I made that up. That's mine. That's original.
I'm not talking about you, doctor. I'm talking Smitty. All right then. So now let's go. Let's go with the vote.
So that's why it sounds better.
So
Oh, I got one. I got one. Hold on. I just got one. Mine's good. Listen.
Tony got
one.
Oh no, no.
As long as you are in outer space, you'll never be in your place.
Okay, that rhymes. I like the rhyme. I like the rhyme.
Does that mean I have to say one too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. If you can't hear, that means
Yes.
no one's talking. I was inspired by the Love Doctor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I appreciate you. Go ahead. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all round the applause. Everybody, round the applause for everybody.
I know I have
My job.
As long as you can't breathe, you can't. They'll choke you. Right? That what you saying, boss? As long as you can't breathe, they'll choke you. Oh, don't deprive them of air. Don't deprive them of air.
I have one, Miss Tuli.
Oh, we got one. Confederate got one. What we got? What we got?
I have one.
Sure.
I missed it. Go ahead.
2 mics in the mind.
Yeah.
Best show on the planet. Hit that share button. Hit that like button. Hit that share and hit that subscription. This is your neighbor, Confederate State 48, saying I'll hob you. Good night.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll hob you too.
Hey,
Great.
That's right.
That's a good one.
That's not fair.
That's a good one.
Archive. All right.
So next week you have another one for us. Everybody got to have one now. Off the dome, so you can't have it already pre-made. Now.
That's right. There ain't no pre-made around here. It's all
right.
natural.
Yeah, I'm talking about no. I'm telling them next week they got to come.
Night.
And what you said, as long as you can't hear nothing, ain't nobody talking.
That's right.
And all Smitty said
Right.
joy and pain
Yeah, joy and faith.
and sunshine and rain.
Yeah. Say, well, joy and faith. She said, you don't have to be joyful. As long as somebody gratitude make you happy. I said,
That's
I'm
right.
so
That's
now.
right.
Yeah.
You go ahead too.
You
You
did
keep
something.
doing your thing, girl. I like what you did.
We didn't like you.
You keep up the good work. You gonna do better.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It was good, though.
It was terrible. We definitely appreciate our nephew. Everybody listening, all of you out there, we are hard you much. Y'all be encouraged. We can do this and stay positive.
That's it.
All of us together.
That's
we
right.
keep entertaining conversation and getting other people to start thinking. That's how we're gonna get together. We're gonna change this whole situation.
Absolutely.
Isn't that right? Just make it a little. That's all I want to do. Just make it a little better till he come. Isn't that right? When he come back, everybody gonna be what they believe. Isn't that right? If you don't believe,
that's right. Yes, sir.
We appreciate
Good
y'all.
night, Tony.
Thank y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Lee on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. 2 mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics. Watch this. And a mind.
Again. Is that a fondue? Is that a fondue?
This right here is a coconut candle. It's made out of real coconut.
Ooh, I like that.
That's actually a double nut.
Does it smell like it?
It
smells delicious.
It's something wrong with a man cut the lights off and started lighting candles by themselves.
Hey man, this right here, this the Quiet Storm.
Hey, man, when I looked at that man and I saw that candle, all I thought of that song, I'm in love under new management.
Oh, how about that? I got one. If you cut off the light to light up a candle, did something not click on upstairs?
Oh, the show is over too. They messed up our segment.
We can mail it out.
They messed up our vibe. They messed up the vibe.
Yeah, You feel that?
I feel like that's one of the things where you got it, but then it just makes
that's it. That's it. It just let it run up. That man gone. That Parker took that man out.
Still gone.
Oh yeah.
Y'all crazy.
Good night.
Hey, she knew what she was doing. She was like, okay, the show is tomorrow.
No.
Oh,
shall work.
All right, now I'm about to make like a baby and head out. Y'all take care.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's the only way he gonna get something. That's the only way he's gonna get. That man's ain't gonna.
He said potion, lotion.
Yeah,
what is that?
I know that's sick. I know the
I
whole
want
thing.
to hear about no lotion and head out, man. No,
oh,
inappropriate.
Y'all crazy.
Good night, y'all. Good night, Julie.
Night.